The Nebraska game proved to be a culmination of a season of hard work for the Buffs. The Huskers came into the game ranked #1 in the BCS standings. A victory for Colorado would propel the Buffs to the Big 12 championship game the following weekend at Texas Stadium. Feeling their goal was about to be fulfilled, 53,000 plus jammed Folsom Field to witness one of the greatest displays of rivalry and domination in Colorado football history. The CU defense set the tone early against eventual Heisman winner Eric Crouch.
There's motion to the far side. Here's Crouch running, pulled down behind the 15-yard line. Sean Puff goes flying through there and drops him for a 3-yard loss at the 14.
Just going out there as a defense, starting the game, setting the tempo, it was just, I've never played in a game so loud before. You know, I was trying to get the call, and my head was ringing, and it was so loud. And then, the very first play of the game, Sean Tufts just came through the line and made a big play on Eric Crouch. And right there, I think that set the tempo of the game.
Bobby Purify opened the scoring when he took a first down handoff 39 yards right up the middle, giving CU a lead they would never relinquish the entire afternoon.
I guess the first touchdown was probably the best one. Just because, we broke it off for I don't know how many yards, like 50 or something. And it was just to know that we got the first one, and we wanted to start the game out fast and get our momentum going early because that was our key to the game.
With a 7-0 lead, the Buffs had the momentum they needed to take it to Nebraska. On the ensuing kickoff, linebacker Aaron Killian came down and laid a devastating hit on returner Josh Davis. And 2 plays later, Donald Strickland stood up to Darian Diedrich and forced a fumble that cornerback Roderick Sneed recovered to put the Buffs right back in scoring position.
Motion by Derek McCoy. Back goes Pesavento. Bobby's letting it go to the end zone. It's a touchdown! The pass completed to Daniel Graham. They come right back, 21 yards for the score.
Scoring quickly seemed to be the theme for the entire game. Now up 14-0, the Buffs were eager to get the ball back. On the Huskers' next 2 possessions, they went nowhere. Joey Johnson stepped up and dropped Crouch for a big loss, and CU's front line held on a 4th and short to get the ball back on downs. Pesavento and Graham connected again on a crossing route that the All-American tight end turned into a huge play down the sidelines, setting up yet another CU touchdown and sending the stadium into a frenzy. The louder the fans got, the harder the offensive line played, pushing red jerseys off the ball and opening up holes for Purify and a resurgent Chris Brown.
Pesavento again to Brown. Cracks it back, 5-yard line. Touchdown! Chris Brown, 12 yards for the score.
Colorado closed the book on the first quarter, outgaining Nebraska 233 yards to 73. And with a 28-3 lead, the Buffs were just getting warmed up.
Back goes Pesavento. He's going to throw it downfield. McCoy's got it. 10-yard line, 5-yard line, out of bounds, down at the 1.
Brown's second score of the day capped the drive and gave CU a 32-point lead. The Huskers answered, though. Crouch broke out some double reverse trickery, finding tight end Tracy Wistrom downfield, setting up a rumble from fullback Steve Krewald. With the Huskers driving again, senior captain Justin Bannon stepped up into a gap and registered a lasting image of his career.
Well, for a while there, I'd kind of been setting the center up. When the guards would pull, I'd cross the center's face. I wouldn't try and backdoor it like I did on that play. So he's expecting me to try and cross his face, and I'd read before the play that this guard was going to pull. So I set my back door, and I just shot through the gap, and no one could touch me. And I had a good hit on the guy, and do that in my last home game. I just lost all control. This was one of my favorite plays ever as a Buff.
Nebraska would eventually score on that drive, but missed the extra point wide left. Colorado now led 35-16. As scoring quickly was the theme for the Buffs, they roared back, hitting Graham for a big gain down the sidelines, and then handing the ball off to Brown and letting him run right through the black shirt defense.
First down, Pesavento to Brown. Chris Brown, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
Brown finished the half with 92 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Buffs left the field leading 42-23.
we kept our heads, we were level-headed, we were focused, and we wanted to make sure we put that game far enough away that we had a comfortable lead going into the fourth quarter. So every man on this team was focused. No one let anyone down. Coming out of halftime, we truly believed that the score was 0-0.
The third quarter was relatively quiet by the standard that had been set in the first half. Nebraska came calling early with the ball on the Colorado 1, but the Huskers would not score.
Here's the give to Diedrich. He dives over the top. Fumble, I believe. Colorado comes out of there with it. First down, Colorado. They have stopped Nebraska on the goal line.
They were kind of gaining momentum, honestly. Norris on the field, and they were on the goal line. And we decided, we took that I don't care attitude and went out there and caused a big play. I mean, it was a huge turning point in the game. Without that, they pull within 6, I think. That was just a real big turning point.
Donald Strickland's hit kept the Huskers out of the end zone and gave even more life to the Buffs' drive. Pesavento highlighted the quarter with a scramble deep in Colorado territory, giving his team the room it needed to put the nail in the coffin and finish off the Huskers. But the story of the day was Chris Brown. His 3 touchdowns in the first half inspired the sophomore tailback to duplicate his effort in the second, scoring 3 more times in the span of just over 3 minutes, one of which was set up by an interception by senior captain Michael Lewis.
Crouch, still with the football, looking long over the middle, intercepted. It's Michael Lewis, 25-yard line, 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds.
Brown took the pitch on the next play and punished ahead 13 yards for the score. The very next drive resulted in the very same outcome. Crouch's pass was deflected by linebacker Sean Tufts right into the arms of streaking Joey Johnson, who brought the ball to the Nebraska 34-yard line. Then, behind the blocking of fullback Brandon Drum, Brown and the Buffs made history.
Pesavento giving to Brown. Brown pushes a man. 5. He's in. Touchdown number 6.
The 6 touchdowns scored by Brown set a school record, as did the 36 points he put up. By scoring 62 points against the Cornhuskers, CU had racked up the most points ever scored against Nebraska, a feat almost as satisfying as the victory itself. When all was said and done, Gary Barnett and the Buffs sat back and watched Folsom Field erupt. A 26-point win against the #1 team in the country, their biggest rival, their first win against Nebraska in some 10 years, and most importantly, they earned their ticket to the Big 12 championship.